continue our service with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of our Torah. We ask you now to please rise and turn to page 246, page 246, Ki Mitzion. Please rise. Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah, Udevar Adonai Birushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Lecha Adonai Hagedula v'Hagevura v'Hatiferet v'Hanetzach v'Ha'avot. Ki kol hashamayim v'ha'aretz, ki kol hashamayim v'ha'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlecha v'hanit naseh lechol lerosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu echad kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu echad kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'nishtachavu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
From the right place here. Yes. Please be seated. Do we have someone scheduled for the area? We do. Is it Sean?
No, the beautiful Hillary Sirota.
Hillary, okay.
So you're going to introduce first, right?
Yes.
And I'll get, I have to write down the people.
Think of a Jewish symbol. I imagine for most of us, the first one that comes to mind is the Magen David, the Star of David. Not surprising at all. To look around, you'll see that star all over the place. But that six-pointed star has really only within recent centuries become associated specifically with Judaism. So, do you know what our oldest symbol is? And the answer to that is the menorah. I don't mean the Hanukkah menorah, you know, the shamus with the 8 branches. No, I'm talking about the original menorah from the desert days. 7 branches, 1 in the middle and 6 coming out, 3 on either side, probably for the 7 days of creation, the 7 days of the week. Well, the menorah is described in this week's Torah portion by Akhel. So let's take a moment to actually read the passage. You can find it in the Torah commentary, the larger blue book, on page 673. I'll give you a moment to get the book out and get yourself to page 673. And we're looking specifically at the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, chapter 37, starting at verse 17. It's marked kind of as a paragraph by itself there. Verses 17 to 24 is about the menorah. So take a moment to read that. So let's be honest, after reading this, it's kind of hard to picture exactly what that menorah looked like. But it gives us a sense of belonging to realize that that seven-branched menorah, and you can see it, for example, Robin and I, were just at the Knesset in Israel. We went to the new, fabulous, some of you saw I wrote about this on Facebook, fabulous National Library, which is right across the street from the Knesset. Well, also across the street from the Knesset is this symbol, the seven-branched menorah. And it's been with us right back to the days of Moses. So now we're going to call up Hillary for her Torah blessings.
Yeah.
Did I turn it on? Yamdu Chana Rachel Bat Eliezer Shlomit Lalia Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol chamim. V'natan lanu et Torto. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayas et menorah zahav tahor miksha. Aseh et menorah yericha v'kana yevieha kaftareha ufracheha mimena hayu v'shisha kinim yotzim mitzida shelosha K'nei menorah mitzidah ha'echad u'shalosha k'nei menorah mitzidah ha'sheni shalosha gevim mishukadim b'kanei ha'echad kaftor b'ferach u'shalosha gevim mishukadim b'kanei echad Kaftor b'fetach kehen l'sheshet hakanim hayotzim min hamenorah ubamnorah arba'a givim meshukadim kaftoreha ufiracheha v'chaftor tachat shenei hakanim mimena V'kaftor tachat shnei hakanim mimena v'kaftor tachat shnei hakanim mimena l'sheshet hakanim hayotzim mimena kaftorehem ukenotam mimena hayu kula miksha achat zahav tahor vayas et nerotea Shiva umalkacheha umalkatecha zahav tahor kikar zahav tahor asa otav ve'et kol keleha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. V'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So Hillary, did you come up for this blessing for something special?
No, nothing
Well, it
special,
is
just
special
to
when
be
you're
here.
here.
Yes.
It is special when you're here, and you're here a lot. You are really one of the mainstays of this congregation. I have to say, of course, I've known you since like forever, and it's a blessing, really, that our next generation, all the old folks out here, take great pride when we see our younger people here and taking your place in leadership in the congregation. So
Thank you
mazel
very
tov.
much. It's very nice to be up here. Like, it reminds me of like my bat mitzvah.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
a repetition. So
It's like
mazel
no
tov,
Torah
but
today.
no gifts.
Yeah, I know no Torah reading today.
Right, either.
so.
Okay. Where's our Starker to come and lift the Torah? Oh. Oh, we got to make a Mishaberach first. Okay. Thank you. Make a Mishaberach, and then we'll have the Starker. Okay.
Exactly,
Thank
exactly.
You want me to put this back?
Yeah, we want to protect her a little bit, right?
Okay.
All right, and thank you, Rabbi Einstein,
My
for,
pleasure.
for coming and leading. I'm just so blessed. We're
Thank
so
you.
blessed.
And we are with you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for everything. It's so nice that I can call upon the incredible emeritus and emerita when I need just any advice and anything we may need. And it's so wonderful that in this community, we know that we can call upon each other to provide that support when we are in need of healing. May that be a healing of body or of mind or of spirit. In our community tonight, we are especially thinking of Mira Adler, Bobby Adler, Stephen Baines, Earl Benton, Florence Benton, Eileen Brayman, James Joseph Crabtree, Joseph Derry, Harriet Dolgan, David Elliott, Emmeline Fries, Sheila Gershwin, Joel Goldberg, Barbara Heimoff, Don Hatch, Evelyn Hopkins, Ellen Jacobs, Michelle Kaufman, Wayne Kaufman, Susan Kibble, Randy Kipnis, Steve Lesser, Jacoby Lustig, Ann Main, Keith McHaney, Teresa Mikos, Paula Miller, Terry O'Brien, Marge Osborne, Richard Parsons, Avi Perry, Arlene Resiknia, Bonnie Richmond, Karen S. Robert, Louis Rodriguez, Ron Ross, Larry Rubin, Richard Schnurr, Ginger Schulman, Sandra Siegel, Dean Stapleton, David Zutz, Aaron Ben Youssef, Baruch Ben David, Bonaliba Bat Ruth, Binyamin Ze'ev Ben Ruchel Rimasima, Chana Sarah Shraga, Esther Malka Chana Bat Batya Ruth, Mayora Bat Zelda, Sarah Bat Elisheva, and Yusuf Ben Moshe. As I pass my hand around the community, please also say aloud any names that are in your heart that you wish to be said aloud. allow those whose names we said aloud and those who are in our hearts be blessed with a speedy and complete healing of body, of mind, and of spirit, as we say together. Amen. We now rise as we lift and dress and return our Torah to the ark.
You may be seated. I'm going to make you bring it back.
She can do that too.
I can. It is my
Serve it.
I could have done it, but I like to put the board to work. There's a story told about a young man who was watching a stonecutter at work. The man was striking a large rock over and over, and at first, nothing seems to have happened. The boy grew impatient, but after what seemed like the 100th strike, the rock suddenly split in two. Amazed, the boy asked, "Was it that last strike that did it?" The stonecutter smiled and said, "No, it was all the strikes before it." This week's Parsha, Vayakhel, brings us toward the conclusion of the book of Exodus, a journey that has taken us from slavery in Egypt through revelation at Sinai, and now to the construction of the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary in the desert. At this moment, we see the Israelites bringing their gifts, their skills, and their labor together to build something greater than themselves, a place for God's presence to dwell among them. The Torah tells us everyone whose heart moved them and everyone whose spirit was willing came forward with their gifts for the work of the Mishkan. That menorah that Rabbi Einstein spoke about could not have been built without the individual gifts of every person in the Kehillah Kedoshah. It's a powerful moment in our people's journey. Just weeks ago, they stood at Sinai, receiving those 10 commandments. And now, they are putting those values into action. Faith is not just about revelation. It's about the daily work of building something sacred. The Israelites are still wandering. They're not yet in the promised land. They are in transition, as we often are in life. The Mishkan is temporary, just as many of our places of gathering and worship throughout history have been temporary. But the work continues. As Rashi points out, the Mishkan was not just a physical structure, it was a response to the spiritual crisis of the golden calf. It was an act of teshuvah, of repairing the broken relationship between the people and God. In many ways, our own Jewish journey is like that of the Israelites. It is ongoing, filled with moments of inspiration, but also great struggle. We build, we break, we repair, we continue. Our work is not about reaching an endpoint, but about continual engagement, continual contribution. Today, just as the Israelites came together to build the Mishkan, we too must come together to shape the future of the Jewish people. One of the most important ways we can do this as American Jews is by participating in the World Zionist Congress elections. The WZC, founded by Theodore Herzl in 1897, is the global Jewish parliament that determines the policies and funding priorities of the major Zionist institutions, including the Jewish Agency for Israel, the JNF, and the World Zionist Organization. Every 5 years, Jews worldwide vote for representatives to the WZC, which directly influences issues like religious pluralism, women's rights, and funding for Reform and progressive Jewish communities in Israel. For Reform Jews, this election is especially crucial. Artza, the Reform movement slate in the WZC, advocates for religious equality in Israel, ensuring that Reform and conservative Judaism have the same recognition as Orthodox Judaism, democracy and pluralism, fighting against policies that restrict non-Orthodox prayer at the Kotel and in other public religious spaces, and a just and peaceful Israel, committed to a two-state solution and a Zionism that reflects Jewish values of justice and compassion. When we vote in the WZC elections, we are taking part in an act of Jewish solidarity, standing with our Reform brethren in Israel to ensure that their voices are heard, that our voices are heard, and that all of our rights are protected. The Midrash teaches that when Moshe gathered the people, it was to remind them that true holiness is found in coming together as a community. We are strongest when we act as a Kehillah Kadosha, a holy community. We stand united for the future of the Jewish people, both in Israel and here at home. Like the stonecutter cutting the rock, every act of kindness, every mitzvah, every moment of engagement matters. We may not see the results right away, but each effort contributes to something greater. The Israelites never saw the temple in Jerusalem. Many of our ancestors never saw a flourishing Jewish state, yet they kept building, and so must we. I encourage you all to take a flyer from the front table in our lobby. There's 2 different versions of the flyer. To get more information on how to vote online in the Artza slate in this election. We all are capable, as long as we are 18 or over, to have an impact and to have our voice heard. There's a small administrative fee to register, but please email me post-Shabbos if this is a financial hardship. CBT is glad to discuss and reimburse as needed. As we continue with this Shabbat and as we close out the book of Shmot next week, may we, like our ancestors, bring what we can, our skills, our passion, our time, and our voice to help build a world filled with justice, kindness, and holiness. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Be this God's will. And with that, we turn back to our prayer books as we rise and turn to 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol, Latet Gedula Leotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kegoyeh Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kemishpechot Ha'adama, Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, Va'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Hayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. You may be seated. We now think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Tonight we are observing Shloshim for Christiana Garasek, friend of Laura and Lance Pinkham. Janice Klein, mother-in-law of Catherine Klein. Rick Jones, brother of Sharon and Mark Goldhammer. Scott Boehm, son of Trudy Boehm, friend of Zipporah Gilman. Ronald Osborne, husband of Marge Osborne, father of Alan and Carrie Osborne and Lauren and April Osborne, grandfather of Ezra, Jameson, Alicia, and LeMay and Lindley. As is our custom here at Congregation Bnai Tzedek, when I read the name of your loved one aloud, if you are observing Yurtzeit for them, we ask that you rise in their memory and honor. This week, we are observing the Yurtzeits of Ruth Bishop, great-grandmother of Ella Mae Osborne and Ezra Osborne, and grandmother of Carrie Osborne. Thomas Bishop, uncle of Carrie Osborne and great-uncle of Ella Mae and Ezra Osborne. Barney Brill, Michael Capsuto, husband of Myrna Capsuto. Rose Crum, Stephanie Davis, Leslie DeLong, uncle of Sean Sagan. Cecil Farron, uncle of Sherry Neft. Richard Feynman, Leslie Frankel, father-in-law of Annalise Flanagan Frankel. Kenneth Scott Goldberg, cousin of Diane Salzman. Lillian Lesser Goldwhipper, mother of Steve Lesser. Serena Gore, wife of Harvey Gore. Mark Gould, remembered by Terry Schnitzer. Heidi Grimmett, wife of Michael Grimmett. Norbert G. Haber, grandfather of David and Amy. Rose Herman, Dolores Ann Herring, mother of Judy Simons. Colin Ann J. Bush, aunt of David Haber and Amy Benton. Edward Jacobson. Jean R. Lackman, wife of Walter Lackman and mother of Miriam McGoran. Albert Lerner, father of Marlene Churgell Smith. Tammy Lehrer, Lee Marshall, mother of Sherry Huff. Manny M. Miller. Nona Mitchell, aunt of Carrie Osborne and great aunt of Ella Mae and Ezra Osborne. Mary E. Myers, mother of Sue Rosen. David Offner, father of Brian Offner. Saul Porras, Lee Pressman, Ethel Rosenblatt, mother of Marilyn Diamond. Claire Wexler Rothschild, mother of Martine. Meyer Rotkin, father of Tammy Klein. Edward Schwartz, uncle of Annalise Flanagan Frankel. Michael E. Supp. Nettie Turek, remembered by Wendy Fink. Ruth Waters, grandmother of Russell Wolf. Joanne Wellborn, mother of Michael Wellborn. Barbara Wolsinger, mother of Keith Wolsinger. And Mo Saker, father of Rose Lesser. If there are any other names for Kaddish, please say their name aloud as I put my hand over the crowd. We invite you now, if you are able to please rise to support those who are mourning and to honor those who no longer have someone to say Kaddish for themselves or their families. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'amad divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudsha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated, unless, of course, your name is John Tice.
I do not need that. Shabbat Shalom. So, special thank you to our ushers, Alexis Dvorkin and Howard Gordon, and of course, the wonderful cantor Jenna Sagan, our guest singer who showed off his vocal talents, Rabbi Einstein, as well as a lovely Devar Torah, and of course, Catherine Klein on the piano. So, we have several things coming up here, several events coming up. It's not on here, but I was told, I believe, April 3rd, right? April 3rd is our blood drive. We need more people to sign up or it will be canceled. So, give blood, save lives. We have our save the date for our annual spring fundraiser. It is going to be Saturday, June 7th. We have our fraud and scam presentation Thursday, March 27th at 1 p.m. here in the social hall. And we also have our merger exploration committee listening sessions. Details are here on your programs, but the next one will be Sunday, April 6th at 11 a.m. in person. Childcare will be available. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, John, for pointing out a lot of great events, things happening in our community. We are busy, 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 and I hope that you are also following along with our weekly emails. If you are not receiving the weekly emails, please contact Sarah in the office. That has, of course, replaced our bulletin for a number of years, but it's so important that you follow what's happening every week. Things change very frequently, and every week we send out all that information, including a video greeting from me. We are going to conclude this part of our service with Oseh Shalom. If you do need the words, they're on page 294. At this point, I'm going to invite anyone of B'nai Mitzvah age or younger, i.e. our Bitsy 6, 7, and 8, who are here celebrating Shabbat and then coming and staying over for a special Shabbat lock-in, to help lead our Kiddush and Motzi. I see 3 of them, one quite reluctantly being dragged by the other 2. You don't have to speak, just stand. And everyone else, please rise. All right, ladies, you know this. Do it together, ladies. We know this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'bratzon hintilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit chihu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziyot mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'bratzon hinhaltanu. Raise it high. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Go ahead and take a sip. I promise it is safe. Oh, that's kind. All right, ladies, I'm going to hand you this gorgeous challah as we all sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Petei Avon. Petei Avon, please come and join us for a delicious nash in the social hall. And thank you all for joining us.